So this is the Apex Lifestyles podcast, and what we talk about is people reaching the apex in your life, whatever that means to them. And with you guys were at the top of your game in around 2016, right? You guys are a big act out of Sweden, and for someone who is at the heights of success that you were, to be experiencing things like burnout, I think it's important for people to understand that it's not always they see the fans see you at the top, but they don't necessarily know what that price is. I think that's an important thing that a lot of people don't always talk about.
Yeah, it's such so many things in that. Like, I couldn't understand how I could feel bad about doing something I love. You're playing music, you're going on tours and stuff. But after when you're working really hard with something and just trying to build it up, doing your best, and you always work at the next thing. Okay, you release an album, then you have to start to plan. Even while making an album, you have to start planning the tours, the next album. No, it really.
Yeah.
And keep everything updated, like website, social medias, just being everywhere all the time. But then I just started music again, so now I'm back in that, and I've been touring the whole fall. So I've gone from knowing exactly what I do every day for 4 years, I have to study, and then now I'm what I'm doing. A day in my life, it's trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. Now I'm trying to find a balance with everything.
Well, that leads to the next question, which, and I'm sure it's changed a little bit over time from when you started out. How do you balance your personal life and your career?
That's what I'm trying to...
Especially when all eyes are on you as a musician.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find now, and balance it more towards I want to spend more time with my family. And because I think one of the things that made me so tired in Crucified Bar was that it took all my energy and focus, and I didn't prioritize my family. And when it's fun, but when the times get hard, it's you need to have some foundation back home. And I think I want to make sure now that I do the right.
And with the perception of the outsiders, you have all these great things going in your life, he said, it just the way that he articulates it in the book, and comes back that, you have to take care of yourself at the end of the day. And anybody, no matter what's going on, goes through things, and it's how you take care of things moving forward. And you recognize that, if it's anxiety, if it's stress, and we are living in a world with high levels of anxiety and stress right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And learning ways to cope with that is a great thing. So, it doesn't matter.
That looks cool. I'm thinking to myself, you're warming up the crowd with an acoustic set, and then jumping in and slapping a bass, and being the backbone of that rock band must have been fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I actually love that band. I think they're great, and I'm hoping to see some big things come from them. And it would be really cool if we could see a Crucified Barbara with a supporting Gems, the Gems supporting Crucified Barbara.
Amazing mix.
Yeah, that would be a fun tour to go see, right?
Yeah.
So maybe. Welcome to the Apex Lifestyles podcast. I'm your host, Bob G. DMD, and I'm here as always with my co-host,
Dennis V. What's going on today, Bob?
Hey, it's New Year's, man.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, yeah.
2025 is here.
Right, and 24 was a big one for us, man.
Listen, we launched Apex Lifestyles, hit 170K. We got the silver button this year, published 3 books, one where the release is coming in a few weeks. And then there's a 4th book coming behind. There's other projects that we haven't really talked about yet that are coming. So
yeah, big stuff.
As I say, the best is yet to come. And that launches us into 2025 today with our first guest
of the year. Yeah.
And we jumped across the pond, and we're in Sweden this morning with Mia Karlsson. Mia is the lead vocalist and guitarist for Crucified Barbara. She has her own project coming, and it is the 20th anniversary of one of her albums.
The debut album
coming up this year, and I know there's a little bit of a reunion getting ready to happen, some touring. We're hoping that it ends up here in the United States. Mia, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Mia. Pleasure to have you on. Yeah, pleasure to have you on there.
Absolutely.
Thanks for making the time. We were a 6-hour difference, so it's noon our time, I guess 6 p.m. your time, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, excellent.
It's not that difficult for me.
Yeah, not that. Yeah, so it's the middle of our day for us, right?
Yeah,
And
that's good.
I don't know if you realize that, but I'm a dentist full time. My day job is I'm a dentist, and this studio is right in my dental practice. So we have this. It's midday for us, and we have patients going in and out. And I'm taking some time to step away and chat with you today. And Dennis is a writer, professor, educator, and he's on break.
Yeah, break. My 2-week break ends on Monday, so it's a great way to finish the break, having you on the show.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
let's talk about rock music. One of the things that are near and dear to my heart, right? And I think yours too, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right. Crucified Barbara. Let's talk about Crucified Barbara. You guys are like one of the premier hard rock metal acts back in I guess it was 2000 through 16 or so, or 98. Was it 98? I guess you guys started.
Yeah, the band just started it. Yeah.
That's quite a run.
Yeah, it was a big run. Yeah. So what was the ideation of Crucified Barbara? What did you guys? You started as a punk band, right? And then you moved to rock.
Yeah, it was kind
right?
of a punk band. I'm not the founding member, so I just joined like 2 years after they started. And Nicky Clarnida and Joey was singing at the time. So I joined as a lead guitarist back then. So they had like a really punky sound, or we had that at that time. But I brought some. I think I came with my metal influences. I listened a lot to like thrash metal and death metal and stuff back then. So we just, I guess, mixed all our influences together.
Yeah, and came out with something that's really special. And you guys had a good run. And then I guess in 2006, you guys took a break. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it was like, it was kind of tough. I'm happy to be back, like, because I burnt out, and I just couldn't continue. So I just had to quit music. I had a few years where it was like signs of that, but I didn't really knew how to recharge or like take a break or something from everything. So it just became too much in the end. Even my body started to like I got numb in my hands and my face, or like so, and a lot of anxiety and stuff. Eventually I just had to stop.
What did you attribute that to? So this is the Apex Lifestyles podcast, and what we talk about is people reaching the apex in their life, whatever that means to them. And with you guys were at the top of your game in around 2016, right? You guys are a big act out of Sweden, and for someone who is at the heights of success that you were, to be experiencing things like burnout, I think it's important for people to understand that it's not always they see the fans see you at the top, but they don't necessarily know what that price is. Can you speak to that a little bit? I think that's an important thing that a lot of people don't always talk about.
Yeah, it's such like so many things in that. Like I couldn't understand how I could like feel bad about doing something I love. You're playing music, you're going on tours and stuff. But after like when you're working really hard with something and just trying to build it up, doing your best, and you always work at the next thing. Okay, you release an album, then you have to start to plan. Even while making an album, you have to start planning the tours, the next album. No, it really, and keep everything updated, like website, social medias, just being everywhere all of the time. Also,
that's what they call the omnipresence thing, where you have to be everywhere all the time, and it's like a treadmill that you can't get off of, right?
Yeah, and we were also like working day jobs when we were not on tour. So when I look back at it, I totally understand why this happened. Because when I was not on tour, we came home, we went straight to work, and then we were rehearsing at the evenings. So yeah, I know. I remember I had times like when I days off with my family and stuff, and I didn't understand why I couldn't like stand up. I had to just lay down on the couch and rest, and I felt so lazy, and I really disappointed in myself. I didn't understand what was happening. Now I know better, but it took some years to reach that point.
And it takes some like growing up and learning how to take care of oneself too a little bit.
Yeah, and
right?
I think it doesn't matter if you're a musician or if you're a doctor or if you whatever you do, if you're working in a shop or something, if it's the same thing that can happen, and it's impossible, I think, to tell someone like you have to slow down if that person is not ready to do that. It's I mean you can't go and rest and sleep for a few days. It's not going to help if you have that mental stress in your.
Yeah, hindsight is a great thing. Sometimes we can kind of go back and think about, how we could have done things better, or if we were our younger self. Are there things that you learned about yourself during that time away, which you'd say, if I was my younger self at this time, I would have done this differently, or more about yourself and how to get through those anxious moments? You talk about the daily grind of the tour and working and doing everything. How do you reset now and you enter this next realm of doing your solo, getting ready to do a reunion tour? How do you prepare for this now, almost 2 decades later?
Yeah. How do I prepare? I'm just throwing myself in there again. What I've learned now is like I know myself better now. So I recognize the signals, and I know that if I don't feel well one day, it's maybe not because something is wrong with me or something else. It's just that I need to step back a bit or rest. And so I understand more myself better. And I learned that it's not the music that is the problem. It's like how I handle things or didn't handle things. So, yeah.
I don't know if in Sweden, if you've heard of the group called Run DMC.
Yeah.
Daryl McDaniel from Run DMC was one of our guests, and I connected with him about 3 years ago, one of my favorite groups growing up. And he released a book called 10 Ways Not to Commit Suicide. And it talks about his battles with depression and, wanting to hurt himself over the years. And with the perception of the outsiders, like you have all these great things going in your life. He said, it just the way that he articulates it in the book and comes back that, you have to take care of yourself at the end of the day. And if anybody, no matter what's going on, goes through things, and it's how you take care of things moving forward. And you recognize that, if it's anxiety, if it's stress, and I mean, we are living in a world with high levels of anxiety and stress right now.
Yes, for sure.
And learning ways to cope with that is a great thing. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. We're all, it can happen to any of us. So in your career so far, what are some of your biggest milestones with Crucified Barbara?
Well, we've done so many things. And when I quit, when we split up, I just didn't want to think of any of it. And it felt like kind of dark. It's like what I've been doing all these years. But now when I'm getting back and I look at our schedule and all these great memories are coming back now, it's like, I think every album that we've done has been a milestone. We used to say that in Hughes as well, because they always come with something new and, but for me personally, just finding the way back to the band, that's the greatest milestone.
That's cool.
I never thought that I would even play rock music again when I quit, and for many years. So it just happened the last 2 years now that I enjoy it, and not until last year that I really had fun on stage again, just getting a second chance. It's I think that's for sure a milestone that we are back playing together. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of acts don't ever get back together, right? So I think that's really cool.
And I never expected it.
I'm really excited for it, and I'm hoping that, it goes. And if you don't come out, I have the inside track with a mutual friend, right? But if you guys don't end up coming to the U.S., I'm going to come out there. And
road trip.
Dennis and I are going to go on a road trip.
I'll see you somewhere.
So let's talk about that for a minute. So back in 2016, you guys hung it up a little bit and took a step back. When did you decide to kind of branch out and reintroduce yourself to music and start your solo thing? When did you have the idea to do that? And how was that transition going from playing with a full band to now doing your solo stuff? And I've heard your solo stuff, and it's definitely different than what you were playing with Crucified Barbara, right? So So what was the biggest difference that you noticed doing that? And I guess tell the story of why you decided to put your feet back in that way.
The music that I do in my solo project that's music I've been doing all my life, but never released anything because there was never time to do anything else than playing with Crucified Barber and doing the rock thing. And I always loved that kind of music, like singer-songwriter stuff. And I like contrast, and I like the dynamic and the vibes of acoustic music. I always get so emotional if you go into a bar and there's a cornet someone's playing and creating a really nice atmosphere. And I was always
it's beautiful.
Very touched about. Yeah, I love that.
Beautiful.
So, and I always loved acoustic instruments and wanted to do that. So I've been writing songs on the side all my life until during my break, because then I didn't play anything for many years. But so for me, it's just that I bring it out now because the songs have been there with me.
How does that feel? How does that feel to bring it out and share it?
It feels really good. I think it's fun to, I love being in a band, like creating something together, and you are with your friends and living this thing. But I also like the thing, like I do my own thing because then no one can tell me what to do or not. It's like, but I like having like this project that I can do whatever I want in, And I also like the last years in Crucified, I lost a bit of my confidence in writing songs because of the process how we were writing the songs and stuff. And I think I needed this to get back on track. Like I have this idea and I take it all the way, and I'm not going to throw it away until I tried it, if I believe in it. So yeah.
Man, when you lose your confidence like that, and then you transition is change, which can be difficult. You transition into solo and you have this music that you've worked on, you put it out. How was it putting it out? Was it tough putting it out initially because confidence may not have been at its best? And how do you transition to a sense where was it the reception from your fans? Was it, what helped you get that confidence back?
Yeah, it's more like the thing is like I kind of lost the confidence and the passion to write music. But now when been writing for my own project and the acoustic music, it's more like when we were been writing with the band that we have thrown away ideas that I believe in, like that I think could be great songs. But now when I write my own stuff for myself, it's like I stand behind it, and no one else thinks it's good, then it's fine. But I took it all the way. It made it as good as possible as I could. But so when I finished the song and I listened to it, and especially when I've been working on with my producer, I feel 100% confident that it's something good. And then it's just, everything is just personal taste in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's art, right? So,
yeah.
And
I'm more surprised, like I toured a lot with this project already, and I played, in the beginning I thought I can't play at rock clubs with this acoustic music, but I have done a lot of rock club shows.
Yeah. How did the crowds receive you in that? I think they were probably great, right?
Yeah, it's been great. Because I think people know kind of what they're expecting. They know they're not going to have a rock show.
Yeah, for sure.
For myself, I like so much different kind of music. So I guess like a lot of people are like that. And I also get the feedback, which is kind of cool. Like a lot of people come up to me and say, I really don't like this kind of music, but it was really good.
Yeah. So
I don't know if they say it just because they know I'm going to go up on stage after with the gems or something.
Yeah, right.
Barbara, but.
Yeah, I'm actually a guitar player. And my first round in college was at music school as a guitar player. And I have a stable of guitars. And one of my favorites that when I play daily is I have a beautiful Martin that I just pull down and just strum away. And my daughter actually has just started playing. She kind of played for the past 4 or 5 years, right? On and off. I've been teaching her some things. And she's home from college and she said, hey, Dad, I think I'm going to go up and play. She goes, can I use your Martin? Because I keep it in the case, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I don't, so yeah, like I totally resonate with that. I think that's great. And I can imagine that a lot of rock fans would totally groove on a night of acoustic too.
So when you're not listening to rock music, you say you like what other types of music do you like?
Yeah, but I listen a lot to, like, when I'm home, I mostly listen to like singer-songwriter stuff. I don't listen that much to rock music when I'm home, actually. I just need to have it peaceful around me when I'm home. I always found it like the rock music can make it so much better on clubs or at friends' places than at home.
Then playing with yourself, just playing yourself, right? Yeah, it's a whole vibe, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think so.
So Mia, you Crucified Barbara, solo, and you just spent some time with the Gems.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that as a bassist. You were supporting bassist for a little run. How was that? And what was the fan response to your role in the Gems?
Yeah, like they asked me to if I could play the bass with them on a show like last year, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to play the bass,
but you do. It's a top 4 strings of a guitar, right?
No, but they're thicker.
I know they are. Yeah.
I know, but I think of course I have played bass like on demos at home, but I never played live bass with a band. So. And I hadn't really touched the guitar either, except from a few shows with Donna Canone 1 year before that as a standing guitarist. So again, the confidence was not there, but yeah, I did it. And I just loved it so much. And I love the girls, the Gems. They are incredible people to be around and to play with. And they're so inspiring. So yeah, I've been playing a few shows with them, and also like the European tour where I was both bass player and opening act with my solo project.
Yeah, that looked really cool. I was following along on social. That looked cool. I'm thinking to myself, you're warming up the crowd with an acoustic set, and then jumping in and slapping a bass and being the backbone of that rock band must have been fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I actually love that band. I think they're great, and I'm hoping to see some big things come from them. And it would be really cool if we could see a Crucified Barbara with a supporting Gems. Like the Gems supporting Crucified Barbara.
Amazing mix.
Yeah, that would be a fun tour to go see, right?
Yeah.
So maybe. Yeah. So what about this? It's no longer a potential reunion. Let's talk about the reunion of Crucified Barbara, right? So we're kind of coming full circle now. How did that come about? And I think it seems, at least in the U.S., that the landscape has changed a bit for. I hate using the term, like genderizing rock. I think rock is rock. Like I don't care who's playing it or singing it, but it seems that it's the era of girls rock right now. Like female rock is like
really?
taking.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
You know what I mean? So like at least a lot of the newer acts that are coming out are female rock bands. And I love it. I think it's great. And
that's cool.
And I think it seems as if the timing is just about perfect. In case you're not hearing me, I think I've said it a few times. I think it would be cool to see you guys in the United States.
So,
yeah, I would love to come back and play there.
Yeah. So, tell us how did that actually transpire? When did you guys decide to do that? And can you speak to how long did that take to do? Like, give the listeners now we're coming full circle. We're going to do the reunion.
Yeah, like actually we didn't talk for like a couple of years after we split up, and or the break is now, but and it was mostly because of me, because I did the other 3 kept playing in the band they heard, and yeah, I just was hiding under a stone for a few years, and when I started to play again, I thought I was only gonna play the acoustic stuff because that's what I felt like, and then I was like introduced to like a process to come back to this stage and play first the guitar with Donna Canone and then the bass with the Gems, and all of a sudden I find myself on these rock stages again. And then we also, like 2 years ago, we actually reached out and met just had a beer and talked, and it felt really, really good to meet everybody. And it just was like a big relief to finally meet them again and talk. But we didn't talk about like playing or anything back then. We just wanted to hang out. And now this, it was maybe this summer when I realized like I love playing music again, and there's like nothing in the way I would love to. We felt like why don't we just meet and rehearse and see how it feels and just play some songs together, and we did, and it was just felt like coming home.
That's great.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah,
That
and I
sounds
love
great.
the girls, and I missed them so much during these years. It's just been so much to process, and now so much is like worked through. And yeah, to get this chance was amazing. So we just felt like, yeah, we do. Why not doing a reunion now when we all want to play together again? So, and I'm really happy, and people are surprised. Like, are you the original lineup? Like, yeah, of course. Like, there's no other way to do Crucified Barbara.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what are the plans? What can you tell us, or can you tell the listeners about what the plans for an upcoming reunion tour looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan. We want to play songs and do shows and just have fun with it. And as long as it's fun, we're gonna keep playing.
Well, it's nice to see how excited you are to get back at it and show what Barbara's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, I could feel it coming right through the computer, right? I mean,
I'm
you feel
practicing my headbanging again.
Yeah, it's great.
The energy's there. Transition a little bit. What does a typical day in the life of Mia Karlsson look like?
I wish I could give a good answer to that. I travel a bit sometimes for shows, and otherwise I'm home trying to book shows, working on like promoting stuff. I've been studying for 4.5 years because I was going to change my career and do something completely different. I was studying social work at the university, and I graduated in May last year. So
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
That's great.
But then I just started music again. So now I'm back in that, and I've been touring the whole fall. So I've gone from like knowing exactly what I do every day for 4 years, like I have to study. And then now I'm like, what I'm doing. It's a day in my life. It's like trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. Now I'm trying to find a balance with everything.
Well, that leads to the next question, which, and I'm sure it's changed a little bit over time from when you started out. How do you balance your personal life and your career?
That's what
especially when all eyes are on you as a musician.
Yeah, like that's what I'm trying to find now, and like balance it more towards like I want to like spend more time with my family. And because I think one of the things that made me so tired in Crucified Barbara was that it took all my energy and focus, and I didn't prioritize my family. And when it's fun, it's fun. But when times get hard, it's like you need to have some foundation like back home. And I think I want to make sure now that I do the right, let's say prioritization. No, that's not the right. Yeah.
Prioritize. Yeah.
Prioritize. Yeah. And not forget like to, because that's like, I want to have energy for myself and my family.
Yeah.
And that's important. And now I think I learned the hard way to.
I think also maybe your social work studies might give you some tools to use too. I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They help me at least. I can help myself better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can help yourself relate with other bandmates and other people in the industry too. And
definitely.
I'm a big proponent of therapy myself, and went through a lot of it over the years, and to get myself in a good spot. And I always think it's a great endeavor one way or another. And I think your studies I think you'll be able to use it quite a bit actually.
Yeah, I hope so. Like the dream would be to combine like something with the music, like, because I think that it's needed everywhere.
100%, 100%.
Well, and you spoke about anxiety before. I mean, I'm high anxiety. I think it's my middle name. And trying to find that balance in your life, because, life doesn't stop. It keeps going, but you have to find what balances you out as you try to reach those endeavors, be there for your family and succeed and move on every day. We've interviewed different musicians and everything. And one of my favorite questions is, I'm all into setting up collaborations, and we're going to tag this. Who's somebody that you would like to collab with? Because this is the opportunity right
Yeah, we're setting it up.
It's happening. It doesn't have to be in the same genre. Who's somebody that you'd like, I want to do a song with them?
Oh my God. my all-time, like the one person that would like dream, that's Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains.
That's a good one. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. That would be a fun one. You know, one of the
That's been my like a dream since I was like 14, 15 or something. So yeah.
That's a great one. Yeah. So with that, Mia, what's your most memorable moment as a musician?
Wow, there are difficult to choose. I think one that stands out was when we played in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, that must have been a big show.
Yeah, it was. We did a tour there. We did 2 tours in Brazil, but that show, I think that was the first time we were there, and I think it was 2014 or 2012 maybe. I just remember that we were there for the first time and didn't know what to expect, and it was a big venue. There was like a lot of we had a lot of troubles when we were setting up. We had put the drum kit together with different kits, and there was radio shows playing from the amps, and it was like,
My God.
So we were really stressed, when we went on stage. And then during the show, I was just singing. We were singing in Distortion with Trust. I think it was that 20 years old song now, and I felt like there's something wrong with the equipment. What's this noise? I couldn't figure it out. And then I look out and I see the whole, like 800 people are singing along. And it's like, that was crazy, because I was like, how do they even know this old song? And that was really a moment when I felt like I can't even describe that.
Yeah, I can only imagine. It was
really cool. Going from this stress, like, what's going on? It's like exactly people singing along.
That an awesome memory.
Amazing. So one nice memory.
100%. That's great. I think Dennis probably has his most favorite question lined up. He's got the twinkle in his eye.
Couple.
No.
No. How do you want to be remembered as an entertainer?
Oh, not what I'm going to answer.
Dennis, that was a killer question. Yeah. That's a great one.
How do you want to be remembered as an entertainer?
Yeah, I want to be remembered as a genuine artist, like with a great voice that people like to listen to. I just want to make great music that touches people.
When you have 800 people singing along a song that is, you think things are going awry, I think you've already accomplished that. In my
those 800.
In my favorite question is what advice can you give? Best advice can you give to your younger self or to the other Mia Karlsons out there that are looking to break into the industry?
I definitely would have known that I should believe more in myself, don't listen too much to my own thoughts, because even since I was, when I started to play, I was 13, 14 years old. I told myself back then that it was too late to start playing guitar.
That's like, so most kids start, right?
Yeah. And then when I went to music school, because I had some other guys in my class, they started when they were 9 and they could play all Metallica songs already. So that's why I felt it was late. And then I went to study music, and my music teacher told us, like, it's so difficult to live from music. Like, you can't really do that. And but when I see like people do that, I do that, even though I struggle, like I'm back in there. I can't stop. So just keep doing what you love. If you have a flow, do it. Like, don't let it. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times we are our own worst critic.
Yeah, definitely.
And, we're that individual that's telling ourselves that.
Yeah.
So it's tough to fight that sometimes, but I mean, you got to look at what you've accomplished and look at all that you've accomplished in, your short and long career, from Crucified Barber to solo to jumping in and start playing the bass and coming back. And we're looking for the comeback now. This is going to be great. I mean, like I said, we need you over here in the United States showing them what you're all about.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to do that.
Yeah, well, you got at least the 2 of us coming. If you come up to the Northeast, you at least got 2 people in the crowd. So you
That's
got at least
amazing.
that. So
yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, and if you could get the Granica and Company to come and support you guys, that'd be amazing too. So
yeah, I love to do them.
Yeah. So anyhow, This is a great interview today, Dennis.
Tremendous interview.
Yeah.
And we're so appreciative you took the time to have a conversation with us. And I think you delivered some great messages to people. First of all, don't be your own worst enemy. Trust yourself.
Yeah.
Celebrate. A lot of times we focus on the things that we don't do. You have to celebrate your accomplishments.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 2025. Look back at 24. Look back at your career as all you've done, and this is going to be a great time going forward with Crucified Barbara.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show, and I feel very positive now. It's good. I'm gonna take care of this second chance I got in music. So it feels really, really cool, and I'm really proud of both my solo album. It will be out in April, by the way, and
Nice.
And yeah, to get back to the girls, my gang, I'm really happy for that.
Well, we're happy for you, and we're going to be, spectators on the side and just living vicariously through you all. And at least I do anyway. As a fellow guitar player, I kind of live my life, boring life as a dentist and a stand-in podcaster. And one of my favorite things is to live vicariously through the artists that I follow and say, hey, you know what?
Awesome.
I could have done that someday too. So at one point, but anyway, thank you so much for coming in. You really were an amazing guest. First guest of 25 for us, which is great.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, man.
Starting off with a
Thank
bang.
you.
Yeah. So Dennis, you want to close us out, bro?
It's go time.
Go time.